What's happening guys, it's Abhinav from PhoneBunch and this is our first look at the Samsung Galaxy J3 2016 edition. Now the Galaxy J3 comes with the S-Bike mode, which we'll talk about in a short while, and there's also NFC on board. You have a 5-inch Super AMOLED display, a Spreadtrum quad-core processor, 1.5 gigs of RAM and 8 gigs of expandable storage. There is an 8 megapixel rear camera here, a 5 megapixel front camera and a rather large 2600 mAh battery. We'll talk about the rest of the specs as we go along. Now we have got the gold color of the Samsung Galaxy J3. You get a quick start guide inside the box as well. Now there's your SAR information and the region log guide. That means you have to use this phone for 5 minutes with an Indian SIM card. After that you can use it with an international SIM as well. You also get a headset within the box. These do sound quite alright. You have seen these with quite a lot of Samsung smartphones earlier, and you get a 1 amp USB wall charger, so no fast charging here. And you also get a micro USB to USB data syncing and charging cable. Now coming to that battery, you have a 2600 mAh removable battery which also has the NFC antenna embedded within it. So yes, this phone does come with NFC, but instead of the cover, it's on the battery like some of the other Samsung smartphones. So folks, this is the Galaxy J3 2016 in gold color. Let me remove all these plastic sheets and have a look at how this phone actually feels to use. Now the frame does seem a bit metallic, but it is made out of plastic, as is the back cover, and in itself it is a bit flimsy, but when on the phone it is very solid. Now coming to the insides, you have 3 separate slots. So yes, 2 SIM card slots and 1 micro SD card slot to expand storage. No hybrid business over here. The phone, as I said earlier, also does feel good to hold and feels far more premium than previous Samsung offerings in this price segment of about Rs 8000. And while we are talking about build, you'll find the volume rocker on the left. It is quite sturdy, does offer good feedback and doesn't wobble at all. And talking about the rest of the ports, you have the audio jack at the top. And as I've already told you, have the power button on the right. That's the only button there. And at the bottom, you'll find the micro USB data syncing and charging port along with the primary microphone of the device. Now the home button also has decent tactile response. It does feel slightly soft at times. Now you have a 8 megapixel camera at the back, LED flash, as well as the speakerphone right there and the Samsung branding. The back has sort of a leather-like texture, but still does feel good to hold and moreover doesn't get smudged with fingerprints. Coming to the top, you have a 5 megapixel camera. You also have a proximity sensor. There is no ambient light sensor here, and you have capacitive buttons again which don't light up. So some things really haven't changed with the design here, and no haptic feedback either there. But this display is a good change. It is quite bright, it is quite sharp, and color reproduction is very good as well. Now talking about that rear camera, you can easily launch it with the double tap of the home button. It works every single time. And the images actually did turn out quite decent. Good color reproduction, good amount of detail. Now you also have a Pro mode inbuilt here where you can control ISO, white balance and exposure. Not much control, but still does give a little bit more leeway. Then you have some effects built in. But this phone can only record in 720p, while 1080p has become the norm nowadays. But we need to check out the camera in more detail. The front-facing camera here too did a very decent job. Now if we talk about software, you have Android 5.1 running here with TouchWiz on top. There is theme support baked in as well. We have already seen this launch quite a number of times. But let's talk about that new thing here, the S-Bike mode. You'll get this NFC sticker probably within the box. Now you can stick it on your bike and tap, kick and roam, something that Samsung has been talking about. Now what you can do with it. Now as soon as you tap your Galaxy J3 on this, it enters into the S-Bike mode. Now here's the functionality that comes with it. It acts like a sort of a do not disturb mode with a built-in answering machine. So if someone is trying to call you, they'll hear a message that you are traveling right now and can't pick up a call. But if the caller still wants to go through, they would have to press 1, marking it as an urgent call. And then there's smart reply as well, meaning your chosen contacts will get a message that you are a particular distance or particular time away from a chosen destination. Now there are also reward points for the number of kilometers that you use this service for. It's actually sort of a safety mechanism so that you don't use your phone while you are riding a bike. but I'll leave for you to decide whether this is actually a useful feature before I give my final verdict. So do hit that poll and tell us what you think about this feature. Now coming to the rest of the things here, as I said earlier as well, you still have Android 5.1.1 Lollipop running on the device, which may get upgraded to Android Marshmallow. We can't confirm that, and you'll get about 4.5 gigs of storage here right out of the box, and you can expand that with a micro SD card. Moreover, apps are movable to the external SD card, and you have USB OTG support as well. And we had about 650 odd MB RAM free after the first boot. And even if we come to general tasks, something like web browsing, you can see that there is a slight hint of lag there, but the touch response is pretty good from this display. And moreover, apps did open up quickly. I didn't notice much lag there. And multitasking was actually pretty good here. You can see that I've opened so many apps. And if I just go back to Chrome, you can see 4 or 5 apps opened after Chrome. It's still kept in memory. So it seems that memory management is pretty good here, and I didn't notice any crashed apps or lost notifications, so that did work out quite well. And well, NFC is going to open doors to Samsung Pay when it becomes available in India. So there are definitely some features that are worth looking into here. And for about 8,000 rupees with Samsung's huge backbone of great service, this does seem like a very decent option. We will be reviewing this smartphone in detail. There will be a separate gaming review, a camera review probably as well, and then the in-depth review. So stay tuned to PhoneBunch. Thanks for watching this video, and as always, have a great day.